that shit off. Get it off. Well, hello and welcome to this Tuesday's Movie News. I am John, back again to speak about movie news on my Todd, as we like to say here, or on my lonesome, as the rest of the planet likes to say. Quite a bit of movie news relating to Marvel Studios and their endeavours in the Marvel Cinematic Universe today. So, being a Marvel fan, can you tell? I'm going to speak about it. And the first one that's coming in, it's about a movie that I'm very, very excited about. Arguably my second most anticipated movie of the upcoming Phase 4 slate. And it is, of course, Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, one particular actor who may or may not be appearing in this movie has been out speaking about his potential appearance in said movie. And in an act of absolute brilliant counter promotion for the movie, he's denied all knowledge of being in the movie. He says he didn't get the phone call. In short, now I've got a couple of comments here which I sadly can't read. I think they came from about an hour ago before I was even on. It's from Sandro, and I agree with you, Sandro. It's all marketing. It is all marketing. He's at it. I look so bright in that monitor. I hope that's not the case in the actual feed that's going out to people, if indeed people are even fucking watching this. But look, needless to say, this is coming in from that looks way wrong. Let's just press the other macro. That's much better. This is coming in from multiple sources, but I have decided to go with MovieWeb because they have kindly supplied a little quote of the actual video. I can't play the video because I will be immediately copyright striked, or claimed at the very least from some dickhead who's got nothing to do with it. In a sense, that's what the way YouTube works these days, sadly. But look, as I say here, Andrew Garfield denies that he will appear in Marvel sequel Spider-Man No Way Home and thinks the rumours are crazy. Oh, are they, Andrew? Are they really crazy? Really? What's your body double, your stunt double, doing on the set of No Way Home then, Andrew? Eh? Why is he there during a COVID pandemic when there is hundreds of regulations on the set to stop people catching it, and not every Tom, Dick and Harry can appear on the set? They can't get access. Why the fuck is your stunt double there, Andrew? That's what I'm going to say. Look, I read this little video I watched this little video, I should say, from Josh Horowitz. He did an impromptu video with the man himself, Andrew. I think they were speaking about something else. It may have even been an actual podcast. I don't know the context of the actual interview. But needless to say, he goes on and asks him about his potential appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home. It's the huge rumours that are swirling about this movie that, of course, Tobey Maguire and Andrew will be reprising their roles. They will be joining Tom Holland's Peter Parker in a multiverse story. And, of course, with the likes of Jamie Foxx's Electro coming back, the likes of Alfred Molina's Doc Ock coming back, firm fixtures in these other universes, that has not done anything to allay said rumours. So, I'm going to read the quote. I'm not going to press play. I watched it, and I'm not buying it. He's a great actor. That's why he was picked as Peter Parker in those amazing Spider-Man movies. That's why he was picked in the likes of Hacksaw Ridge. He's a fantastic actor. But even his great acting skills couldn't hide that shrilly, high-pitched voice when he started denying it. He laid it on a little thick for me. This is a quote. There isn't anything to ruin, bro. I have to just quickly cut you off. There's nothing to ruin. It's like crazy. It's so crazy too, dude. It's fucking hilarious to me because like I do have this Twitter account. And I see like how often he loves the word like. Spider-Man is trending, and it's people freaking out about a thing, and I'm just like, guys. Like, I wish I could just be able to speak to everyone and say like. You've said it about 5 times already, Andrew, and it's a pain in the arse to read. I recommend that you chill. Like, listen, I can't speak for anyone, anything else, but for myself, they might be doing something, but I ain't get a call. Oh, they're doing something all right. They're definitely doing something. They're doing a multiverse story, Andrew. We know this because J.K. Simmons is in this movie as a very different version of J. Jonah Jameson. So we know for a fact there is multiple incarnations of previous characters from previous Spider-Man movies. And again, the 2 stunt doubles for Tobey Maguire, for obviously Andrew Garfield, they were on the set of the movie. We know this because there's been a series of Instagram posts regarding these shenanigans of the stunt doubles. And we know those 2 have been on the set. And we know it's a pandemic. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but needless to say, not every person can get on these sets. So they are there for a reason. Now look, Someone did say, I think it may have been on Twitch, it may have been Ghost Hand who comments from time to time. I think he says, look, these stunt doubles, once they get in the game and they piggyback off maybe a Garfield or a Maguire, they can get a steady flow of work from different actors. So it may be that they're just getting in there and doing stunt work. They're respected in the industry and they're doing work for other actors in this movie. But I find that so unlikely. I think Kevin Feige's got an idea of what he wants to do in this movie. I think this and WandaVision and obviously Multiverse of Madness being the sort of epicentre of this multiverse concept, I think this is just going to be perfectly handled. I think we're going to have a Sinister Six set up here. Now, I don't want to get down the route I went down with WandaVision, where I'm laying down all of my theories, and then when I actually watch a movie and it doesn't play out exactly how I thought it would, I am ultimately disappointed. I don't want to get down that route. I'm surmising, and ultimately I am some tadger on the internet. So what do I know? And I will speak about that WandaVision betrayal from Kevin Feige. That's my next topic regarding Doctor Strange, and I'm not particularly pleased by his choice of words regarding that potential cameo in that TV show. It rubbed me up the wrong way, Kevin, and I don't like you doing that because I love you. I think you're a great producer and you've given me some happy moments in the theatres over the last 10 years. But I think he will handle this movie perfectly as an overseeing producer for Sony, because of course it's them that are making this movie. I think we will see a multiverse, and it would then be incredibly stupid for them not to utilise that chance to bring back these two Spider-Man characters. We've seen how successful Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was, with obviously the Miles Morales take on the character. Made huge money, was hugely successful, won an Oscar. So we know there is a will for multiverse. We know that there's a will to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back, despite the way their terms as these characters ended. They were hugely popular. I liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I thought he was wrong done to. Tobey was magnificent. It's just the third movie was poor, but they never get closure. So this would be the perfect way to blend universes, to connect the Sonyverse with the MCU and lead to maybe a setup where we have Morbius and perhaps even, I don't know, Venom coming over to the MCU. This could be a precursor to that. It'd be the perfect way to bring these guys back and give them closure with the character by helping out Tom Holland, like we had the 5 different other Peter Parkers and Gwen, whatever the hell her name is, I'm blanking on it just now, coming in and multiverse and helping out Miles Morales. I think it's going to happen. I think it's all promotion, as Sandro did say in the comments about an hour ago. I absolutely do believe that he's going to be in this movie. If you were to give me an over-under percentage, I'd take 60+% that he's going to be in this movie. I can't be completely certain, but I think he is definitely going to be in the movie. It's just too good a chance to waste. And the stunt double's been on the set. It's too obvious, man. There's no way they can't be in this, man. There is no way they cannot bring back these two characters in this potential and it's got to be Sinister Six. It has to be, because we've not utilised also Michael Keaton's Vulture character. I was about to say Falcon, and that's so unlike Kevin Feige. He doesn't allow loose ends like that in his universe. He does not allow characters to be discarded and not used correctly. So we have to use Vulture. We need to use Scorpion, I think it is, because he was in the end credits. He's not been used. And of course we've got Electro, we've got Doc Ock. There's one remaining. 5 villains. It's got to be 6 villains in this movie. It's got to be a Sinister Six. Sony have wanted it for years. And we cannot have one Spider-Man character taking on 6 villains, so we need to have 2 guys helping. I think it all matches up. I think he's talking absolute shit. He's lying through his teeth. I think he will absolutely be in this movie, and I'm moving on that note, because I don't want to just overstay my welcome in that topic. There's not a huge amount to speak about. I think I've done it to the death, so I'm going to try and keep the energy up here. Surviving on 5 hours sleep. I'm sure to go off a cliff at some point in this show. But as I did say, I was going to speak about Doctor Strange. Kevin Feige's been out speaking about his potential cameo in that TV show. I thought it was already happening. I theorised about him appearing and saving the day. Apparently that would have been mansplaining. And as Kevin says, a white man coming to show how powerful he is. Fuck off, Kevin. I thought this would have happened. I thought in my heart of hearts he would appear in the finale, because he is the Sorcerer Supreme. His job is to oversee magical irregularities and stuff like that and deal with it. He's the main man. So for him to know about this Hex pocket universe on the east coast of the United States and to not do fuck all about it and just sit there because it's Wanda, that's a dereliction of duty for the character. That's why I thought he should have come in It didn't happen though, and this is what Kevin Feige's had to say about it. And look, in a way I kind of agree with what he says. I do agree on some level. He says this regarding and he was rewritten to not be in it. Incidentally, it says there that he was written out of it. He was supposed to be in it originally. That's where the rumours came from. I thought I read it somewhere, but he got written out at the last minute. And this is what he had to say. Some people might say, oh, it would have been so cool to see Doctor Strange, but it would have taken away from Wanda. We didn't want to end the end of the show to be commoditised to go to the next movie. Here's the white guy, let me show how power works. Now this is the comment I says that rubbed me up the wrong way. Here's the white guy, let me show you how power works. No, that's bullshit, Kevin. Doctor Strange has traditionally been a very powerful character in the comics. He's been neutered over the decades, but he has always been a very powerful character. He's a guy who has infinite knowledge nearly on how magic works in this universe. Him coming in and controlling this situation, it's his fucking job in the universe. That's what he does. So him coming in, he'd be cleaning up an Avengers level event. That's what should have happened. It's nothing to do with his skin colour. That's fucking bollocks. If you go back to Endgame, you've got Brie Larson coming in as Captain Marvel and saving the day nearly, going through the ship. Is that her showing how white female power works? What fucking nonsense is that? It done me nothing that reading that. I think it should have come in. But that aside, I do agree with what he says. It would have taken something away from Wanda, and ultimately it was WandaVision. It was about her and Vision, and I liked the way it ended. And I liked the way it was subtle at the end, where she's reading this book and setting up her appearance in Multiverse of Madness. They didn't detract from Wanda. It was her show, and it ended nicely. I loved the finale. I liked the fact Vision often did his thing. They're setting up the kids continuing in some vein. But I just didn't like that wording. I thought that was really poor. He's sort of playing these... Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it when they do that. This sort of fucking social justice pish. I'm a left-winger. I've got a no fascist, no sexist, no racist poster that I can't fit in behind me. So I should be the demographic he's pandering to with that shit. But it doesn't... No. Keep that shit out of it, man. It's... Everyone's diverse. The demographic that watch these movies are diverse politically, every way. Don't ruin it by bringing that shit in like you did with Star Wars. It ruined the fandom. I don't want to see that. He continued by saying this, I do believe this was him as well. A wonderful combination of very dedicated coordination, chaos and chaos magic. Described Marvel's overall process. Yes, look man, we were speaking about this the other day, me and Stephen. We were speaking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and how it wasn't quite at the same level as WandaVision when it came to the overall writing, the anticipation for the finale. I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked this exploration of these two guys, minor characters in the grand scheme of things. But it wasn't on the same level. It wasn't as zany, as original as WandaVision. So I agree with what he says. Chaos magic was definitely involved at the heart of the story, at the heart of the actual crafting of the TV show. I loved it. And despite me not getting my way with Doctor Strange appearing, which I thought absolutely should have happened, it didn't detract from my enjoyment of the show in the end. I thought it was by far the best show that they have produced so far. I can't even read that, sorry, my eyesight is horrendous. I'll try my best. Apade Nkunge, meaning how are you? Well, thank you very much. I need to start learning more languages. I can barely speak English. I keep getting told no one can understand me, so I need to start putting the fingers out and trying to learn other languages. I'll try and say that again. Apade Nkunge. I don't know what that means. I could be saying I'm a fucking twat for all I know. I'll make sure to search that up and make sure you're not telling any lies there. But I've said it now. Thank you for watching anyway, mate. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to move on, man, from that. That was a little filler topic in the show. It didn't detract from my enjoyment of the show, that's what I'm saying, but I thought it should have been in it, and I think Kevin's absolutely wrong by bringing up that sort of identity politics pish that nearly ended Star Wars, but thankfully not, because we've got Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni coming in as heroes to save it, and now Taika, who I'm now going to be speaking about, saving Star Wars hopefully with Kirsty Wilson Cairns, who was a fantastic writer, who was involved in Sam Mendes' 1918. She's Scottish, so I like her, and she came up with that emotive image. His skin was like that of camembert cheese. If you've watched 1918, you'll know what I'm talking about. He puts his fucking hand through a German soldier's back and it gets through it. It's horrible. Watch it. But look, man, Taika Waititi, he's digging for Love and Thunder, I've says there. in a sense, he's been out speaking about the movie. He's been doing his promotional stuff, as you'd expect a director to do, whilst in the process of finishing the movie. But he's had this to say. He's went one further. He's not just promoted it and bigged it up. He's actually says that he thinks it could be the best Marvel movie ever. Now look, as a huge Taika Waititi fan, a guy who's watched all of his stuff, I'm not going to sit here and contradict Taika, because I know what he's capable of. He's immensely talented. He's got that energy, that enthusiasm that rubs off on other actors. And if you watch the likes of Jojo Rabbit, you can see what this guy can accomplish in one scene. Not the whole movie, one scene. So I'm not going to contradict him. He could very well be right. This could be the best Marvel movie ever. But he's up against some stiff competition, the likes of Endgame, Infinity War, The Winter Soldier, Civil War. Some amazing movies have been out. So good luck, Taika. But I hope you're right, because I want to see the future being bright for this universe. I'm not a person who looks back and obsesses over the past. What has been has been. We move to the future, the present and the future, and hopefully they are every bit as brilliant as what we have got in the Infinity Saga. This is what he had to say. He says this: "We've got 4 weeks left. I can see light at the end of the tunnel. It might be the best Marvel film ever. Chris Hemsworth is a funny guy, he's a good friend, and he's also someone that you just want to hang out with all the time. And I think that's all you really want from a superhero or a main character in your movie. It is. You want gravitas, you want stature when it's Thor. You want humour, you want personality." And he's absolutely right. From what I've seen of Chris Hemsworth, I've not met the guy personally, unfortunately. I'd love to. He does look like a larger than life character, a person you would get on well with, the life and soul of the party. And he has freed up this actor with this Thor franchise moving forward. He was getting bored of it. He was contemplating leaving. It was stuffy. It was getting repetitive. He says Ragnarok was the best experience portraying this character. I'm paraphrasing, I don't know exactly what he says, but he said something like that. It reignited his passion for it. He signed a new deal, and now he's working with Taika again, and he's, by all accounts, making him laugh and having a great time on the set, and that's going to be manifesting itself in the performance. I cannot wait to see Thor: Love and Thunder, man. I loved Ragnarok. I've rhymed off the best movies in the MCU. I think Ragnarok has a claim to be in the top 10 at least. I'd say top 5. I thought it was dynamite. When you put Jeff Goldblum in any movie, it's going to be good. But when you balance it with the likes of Cog, the humour, it was like fucking James Gunn on steroids. I loved it. But this is also what he had to say about the process. He says, "I will say that reading the script I had a lot more fun than on Thor Ragnarok. That's promising. And that shows something, because that movie was brilliant. It was, and you're not blowing your own trumpet. It was brilliant." I hope this is Taika that's saying this, incidentally. I'm not sure who it is that's actually saying this. Maybe Tessa Thompson. I don't know who it is that's saying it. I'm going to say it's Taika, because he's that kind of guy. He'll speak the truth, even if it's about himself. "After reading the script, I can say that I'm very excited. I think this isn't Taika. This may be Tessa Thompson. For sure, in this production, there will be a lot of love and a lot of lightning." It may be Natalie Portman. I don't know. Portman. I said something else there. Portman. "I'm glad that after everything that happened in Avengers Endgame, I'm still part of the Marvel Universe and we can continue the story of Thor." Well, it's definitely not Taika Waititi. Who the fuck is it it's speaking here? I don't know. It's Natalie Portman, perhaps. I keep saying Portman. I can't say her name. I don't know why. There's certain times during the day where I just can't speak English. Some people say I can't speak English anyway, so that not be a unique thing. But needless to say, man, I'm very, very excited about this movie. I'm excited about him waxing lyrical about the movie, because I trust his opinion on it more than anyone. This is a guy who has been incredibly successful over the last decade as a cult figure. Now he's made the big time. He's transitioned very well, and I hope this is something Chloe Zhao will follow in the footsteps of and do similar things with on Eternals that's soon to be coming out, and I'm very excited about that too. Can you tell that I'm a sycophant when it comes to Marvel stuff? So yeah, in the end, I'm really excited about it. I don't know if it will be the best Marvel movie of all time. I think that's maybe high praise. But well, time will tell, won't it? We will find out. But we're going to move on. It's a fucking Marvel themed show tonight. It's just wall-to-wall Marvel until the last two topics, which go off in a completely different direction. Miss Marvel set photos have been revealed here, and there's a lots of different topics interconnecting into Miss Marvel in general. The Marvel's been the one that I've headlined with as the actual topic. Not headline, but what I'm going to speak about primarily. They're saying it makes the Disney series plus series absolutely essential. Now, I touched upon this the other day when the actual it was yesterday, I think, if I'm not losing the fucking plot, when the actual thing dropped, the trailer, Welcome Back to the Movies, it outlined Phase 4, and it gave us some footage and stuff like that. I spoke about the Marvels, and how they were taking an almighty risk in the way they were presenting this movie. They weren't showcasing it as a Captain Marvel movie, it was the Marvels. So we're going to have Monica Rambeau, we're going to have Miss Marvel, we're going to have Captain Marvel. And what I said was they're taking a fucking risk, because if Miss Marvel flops on Disney Plus, no one gives a shit about the character. It's just poorly written, and I'm not saying it will be, I'm hoping it's very, very good. But if it does, then it's going to have a direct impact on this movie. So they're taking a gamble that this is widely accepted, that people love it, that the character becomes, enjoyed by thousands if not millions of people, and then that can transition into a very successful movie in the Marvels. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I tell you what, I'm pleased that it is going to be the case, that they are putting their faith in these TV shows, because I hated the shit that was coming out after WandaVision, where in a sense they says, well, they have to cater to the casual fans, they can't change too many things in this TV show and make it compulsory watching, because they have to cater to the casual fans. Well, I says to that, fuck the casual fans. This universe should be for the hardcore fans who want to go and watch every single project, be it a TV show, animated, live action, movies. They changed things creatively in that TV show to cater for the casual fans, so they could go in and watch Multiverse of Madness straight from an Endgame, and it wouldn't divert too much. They wouldn't have to use their brains and fill in the gaps. With this, they are fucking resting upon this and making this compulsory viewing for your enjoyment of. Well, it won't be, man. It won't be. They'll do it. Kevin Feige, he'll be smart in the way he does it. He'll make the character pop in the movie, and he'll do just enough to introduce it in the movie as well, if you've not seen the TV show. But I hope he doesn't. That's what I'm saying. I want to see them making the TV shows completely necessary viewing, because he came out and says that, Feige. He says, if you want to keep up with all the inner machinations of this universe, then you have to watch the TV shows. So I hope he fucking does that, because he's went back in his word. But needless to say, we've got this article as well. There's been set photos revealed of the Miss Marvel actress Amin Vellani. She's in costume, and I'm conflicted, man. I don't know if I like that costume. I don't know about that costume. I'm going to bring it up. We'll get a close up here. Yeah, I don't know about that costume, man. I've got to be honest. It looks like a sort of shinier version of Captain Marvel's costume. It doesn't look good, does it? And I understand it'll be comic book accurate. I could search up the comics just now and it'll probably be exact in its recreation. But yeah, it's not a great costume, I don't think. And look, I can get over it, man. I can get over it. The costume doesn't have to make or break a TV show. The actress may be absolutely brilliant. It looks a little bit better there. She got a cape. I don't know if this is a cape she's got going on here. She's got the Converse on, which you can't see on that because it's cut off, because I keep fucking insisting on putting it in a little box. Yeah, I don't know what to make about this costume, but look, the actress looks good in it, I suppose. She's well up for it. And if it's comic book accurate, then there's not a lot you can do, really. You're shoehorned into a corner, if that even makes sense. It doesn't. We've seen it with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I had my gripes with the new Captain America outfit. I had my gripes with the sort of head thing, where it was goggles going round. I didn't really like that, but it was comic book accurate, and they were backed into a corner. They had to recreate it. Well, they didn't, but they kind of did. You have to pay homage to the comics. That's where it was lived and breathed for many, many years. Needless to say, man, look, this is an inspirational figure, potentially. This is a pioneering character. She's the first Muslim Pakistani superhero in the MCU. It's Kamala Khan is the character's name. And yeah, look, man, this is going to be great for representation once again for minority communities. Look what Black Panther did. Look, I don't know if that was English. It came out weird there in my head. Look what Black Panther did. I was right. It did. It made sense. But in my head, it didn't for a moment. Look what that did for the black community. It was a zeitgeist movie all over the world. Not just for blacks, but for me as well. I fucking loved it as well. So it was a zeitgeist movement, though, for that minority voice. It showed them that, look, you can make it if you put your heart and soul into it. You're talented enough. It needn't be that you can't get to the very top of the game. Look at Michael B. Jordan. Look at Chadwick Boseman. Look at Daniel Kaluuya, Oscar winner. This could do the exact same for Muslim Pakistani people coming up in the world and hope to be an actor someday. This could be a bridge for them. It could show them that, look, I can absolutely do it. I can be a superhero. And then we've got this fucking shit here. Moving on. Look, I'm going to put it out there. I'm not particularly looking forward to Captain Marvel 2. I didn't mind the first one. It was an okay movie. But there was a fucking cat in it that was powerful, and it took me out the movie, man. And the way that they explained Nick Fury having his scar by showing the cat give him it, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It was terrible. And look, yeah, there was elements of it I didn't like. The whole Skrull Kree thing. I'm still not on board with this invasion thing. I'm hoping this TV show with Nick Fury in it will sell me on it. And I like Ben Mendelsohn. I think he's great. I loved him as director Krennic in Rogue One. I loved him in that fucking Robin Hood movie. I'm pretty sure he was in it as the Sheriff of Nottingham, and that was a shite movie. So that speaks volumes for my love of Ben Mendelsohn, but not even he can get me turned on for this shit. So when you go through this, and it's an article of all we know about this movie, and it's a cool logo. It is a cool logo in their defence. When you go through it and they start bringing up the Skrull stuff, I immediately start rolling my eyes, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing this for? Why are they insisting on this shite? These shapeshifters, it is rubbish. I don't like it. I'm needing to be infused by this. I need them to do something special with it. And they didn't do it in the first movie. I tell you what does excite me though, Teyonah Parris, Amin Vellani and Joelle Ashton, whoever the fuck she is, coming in with Brie Larson. I'm excited for Monica Rambeau. I thought Teyonah Parris was fantastic in WandaVision. She was an excellent third spoke in the wheel, if that's even the word. I'm not a bike man, but I'm going to get a bike. I think it spoke. She was an excellent addition to that cast. She was perfectly casted as Monica Rambeau. I can't recall the actual superhero she's playing. It's something like Pulsar or something like that. I actually can't remember the actual name of the character. But I'm excited to see her popping in. This will make it watchable. I says this last night as well. They have to make this movie more watchable because a lot of people dislike Brie Larson. I think she's a great actor, of course, an Oscar winner in her own right, and there's not many Oscar winners in that MCU. But as a person, she can be divisive, and it's going to turn a lot of people off of watching the movie. So how do they circumvent that issue? They bring in Teyonah Parris, they bring in Miss Marvel, Iman Vellani, and hope that they hit off and make it watchable if some people don't like Brie Larson. So that is something that's interesting. They're combining all of this. They're leaning on this TV show. It can make and break it. I think it will probably make it, though. I don't think Marvel will make many bad stuff, to be honest with you. I think they've got their finger on the pulse. You can count in maybe 2 fingers the amount of bad stuff that Kevin Feige's produced and put out there to the universe. It will be directed by Nia DaCosta. She has had the seal of approval by Jordan Peele. She's directing the Candyman remake. If she has the seal of approval from the great Jordan Peele, that's enough for me. So the fact she's directing it is another boon for this movie. I actually spoke about that at the time. It does have something going for it. And you see here it's been written by one of the WandaVision writers. Not the one, but one of them. And I just spoke and waxed lyrical about WandaVision. I thought it was a great TV show. I loved every moment of it. I was completely switched on to it. And I got up as early as hell to watch the finale. So if she had a part to play in that, she's actively worked with Teyonah Parris. She's worked with Monica Rambeau, the character. That's a nice bit of continuity moving into this movie. So that's another thing going for it. I don't really care about when it's scheduled to start principal photography. There's bigger fish coming on the horizon just now, and it ain't Captain Marvel 2 or the Marvels. They're going to say that it will continue an origin story. That is good. I've spoke about that though. Monica Rambeau coming in, that is a boon for it. She's an interesting character. And yes, it will set up, it will set this up. I spoke about that. I don't really care about this. This was the bit I was talking about that I didn't really give 2 fucks about. The whole Skrull's Nick Fury thing. Look, I almost feel sorry for Nick Fury. He's getting connected to this. I pity him, because he deserves so much more than to be shunted over with these Skrull characters. I've got not much interest in this. I think this is a bit shit. They're saying that she won't be back, and that's absolutely fine. She's got the Bond stuff to do, hasn't she? She could potentially play Bond after. Well, not Bond. She's not fucking James Bond, but she can maybe do something, continue the 007 mantra. So she's got bigger fish to fry as well. Needless to say, man, I've spoke at length. I've probably spoke longer about this than I have about the actual headline. I'm intrigued by the Marvels, but they've got some convincing to do for me to get switched on with this whole Skrull pish. I'm intrigued to see Miss Marvel and see how it's going to blend in. I just like to see them connecting all these different projects. It's what Star Wars should have been doing as soon as Disney took over, but sadly have dropped the ball with. Nice to see another studio, well, the same studio doing it fucking right. But I'm going to move on to the fifth topic. It's completely different. It's got nothing to do with Marvel. It's about a nice little sequel to a movie I thoroughly enjoyed, I have to say. Stephen Lang's brilliant. He was in Avatar, I'm pretty sure he was. He played like a sergeant or something, and that sort of mechanical thing. He's a great actor, and I loved him in Don't Breathe. I thought that was a brilliant little horror movie that utilised sound. It was like the complete opposite of Hush. Hush with Mike Flanagan. Couldn't hear anything. She was deaf. And it was John Gallagher something, Junior, whatever his name is, who's a great actor, and I can't remember his name. I think he was in Cloverfield too, I'm pretty sure he was. Cloverfield 10, Cloverfield Lane. He's a great actor, man. That's completely besides the point. It was the complete opposite to that. This utilised sound. You couldn't make a noise. It was creepy as fuck. When they revealed what this guy was all about, you were conflicted. He lost his daughter, but he was trying to fertilise or impregnate, that's the wrong fucking word, and a random woman he is holding hostage in his house. What I'm saying is, it was a very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't think that a sequel was necessary. I didn't think that her escaping the house and it continuing the story of her being chased by this guy, I didn't think that made much sense. I didn't want it. But having read this article, it turns out that's not what we're getting, and I like that photograph. That is the general gist of the article. We have a first image. Look at this guy. He looks dynamite. Look at the silhouette with the beard, and he's carrying a hammer. As a guy who's often picked a hammer up when there's been issues going on in the street, and I can feel what's going on with this Glasgow for you. I can feel the vibe he's got going on here with the hammer. And of course, I think he's blind. He's sort of a fucking alien from A Quiet Place. He can hear everything, this guy. I'm going to move on here. I'm going to speak about the actual story. I think the story's so cool, man. Needless to say, where is the actual synopsis? Here we go. This is it here. I'm going to read it because this is what turned me on to actually put this in the show. I love the concept, and it's a nice change of pace. It's necessary. They can go back and make this a trilogy, connect it into the first, and they can go after that woman and maybe kill her from the first movie. That's what I'd like, because I'm a twisted bastard. This is what it says. For Don't Breathe 2's story, it seems that Alvarez and Ciegas, if that's how you say it, will be switching gears. The plot seems to be more of a revenge thriller, with Lang's Norman living in a recluse. As a recluse while taking care of a young girl orphaned by a house fire years earlier. When criminals kidnap the young girl, Norman goes on a quest for vengeance in the hopes of rescuing her. This plot certainly indicates that Don't Breathe 2 will be switching gears. While the first film posited Norman as an anti-hero for the majority of its run, he wasn't an anti-hero, he was a sick, sadistical fuck. What are you talking about? He was killing people, albeit they were breaking into his house, so they kind of deserved it. He wasn't an anti-hero, man. What the fuck are you talking about? He was crazy. The guy was nuts. Third act twist revealed that he was hiding a woman in his basement in hopes of her providing a child for him that could replace his deceased daughter, because that's what you do. It says he's going to go in full protagonist mode. He's going to be protecting this child he raised as, obviously since she was an orphan. He's going to try and make up for past sins and stuff like that by doing a good deed. This is an interesting concept, making Stephen Lang go on the run, hunting people down. We know he's a sick, twisted fuck. So if we see this guy getting after and braining people with hammers, that's right up my street. I love a bit of gore, I love a bit of blood. One of my favourite recent horror movies, I say recent, it had the great Anton Yelchin in it, so it's not that recent because he's been dead about 5 years. Green Room with Patrick Stewart. I always have to think about that. What's Patrick Stewart? That was a great horror movie. It had lots of gore. There was dogs attacking people getting hacked to fucking stuff like that. It was great. I want to see that in a more expansive way with Stephen Lang. So look, I wasn't on board for this sequel. I've seen the photograph, I've seen the concept of the actual next movie, and I'm very, very intrigued now. And as I did say, I think Stephen Lang's a great actor, so he's certainly got what it takes to carry that sequel movie and do something very intriguing with it. So look, I'm on for that. I want to see that, and I'm going to move on to the final topic, which is a little bit different. I'm not going to overstate by going through every single one of these things that I've got down here, but I liked the article from Collider, and I wanted to see if theirs lined up with mine. What's the best? And needless to say, they certainly don't. It's coming in from Collider, as I did say. It's a nice little ranked article, and as ever, I tend to disagree with Lots of Colliders ranked worst to best articles. They've put this in at number 1, and you know what, I completely disagree with this. Number 20, sorry, the worst lightsaber duel of the sequel, or of the entire Star Wars movies. Palpatine versus Mace Windu versus Kit Fisto. What a load of fucking pish. In the name of the Galactic Senate, you are under arrest. I am the Senate. Not yet. It's treason then. That is one of the best moments in Revenge of the Sith. It's incredible, man. And seeing him absolutely slapping Palpatine about like an empty tracksuit in the wind, man. This showed you what Mace Windu was all about. This guy could handle himself with his purple lightsaber. I loved this. It wasn't my number 1, but it's not the worst lightsaber duel in the entire Star Wars universe. What a load of shite. Putting that in at number 19, this guy is on crack. As you can see, I completely disagree with this. Qui-Gon Jinn versus Darth Maul. That was a rapid-paced lightsaber duel. The way he zipped off his little speeder thing. First time we see Maul in action. That was a great little truncated lightsaber duel. I love that. So I completely disagree with that. We're just going to go through it and tear shreds off of this until I agree with one. Yeah, this one was shite, to be fair. This one was crap. It did show the sort of treacherous ways of Palpatine though, and I kind of like that. Kill him now. And it's the look that the great Christopher Lee gives him, as if you treacherous bastard. So I liked the scene, kinda, but I didn't like the fight. It was a bit shit, and we had a terrible bit of CGI with a bridge falling on Obi-Wan, and it looked fucking fake as hell, which just sort of summed up the whole prequel trilogy in a one little microcosmic moment. So yeah, I agree with that. Rey and Kylo versus the Knights of Ren and Emperor's Royal Guard. I can't even recall that. Was that in the Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, that was shit. That whole movie was shit, let's be honest. There was one good lightsaber duel in that though, and I'll get to that as we go through this list. That was shit. That deserves to be right up there, I agree. Terrible. Move on. Little limping Yoda with his walking stick, and then he starts springing about like a mad fucking cat. Terrible, man. One of the worst moments in Attack of the Clones, and believe me, there was a lot of bad moments in that movie. So for that to be the worst speaks volumes. Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Count Dooku. I disagree with this, because I tell you, you can slag George Lucas off for the Star Wars prequel trilogies all you want. I personally don't. But the way he added a layer of mythology to the lightsaber duels, the different techniques they used to fight, and the back and forth between Count Dooku and Anakin, oh, you're using this form, double the pride, twice the fall. I don't think this is... I think it actually was that when he had the two lightsabers. It may have been actually Revenge of the Sith when he says, my powers have doubled. I liked this scene. I liked the back and forth between the great Christopher Lee and Hayden Christensen, and it was intriguing. It was an intriguing little setup. I actually loved the end of this shot as well, when he disappears off to Coruscant. So no, I wouldn't have that as low as that. I think that was decent. To put this though above that, that's fucking absolute blasphemy. I'd have them both lower, incidentally. I quite liked this lightsaber scene. I think this duel, this was the one on the snowy planet in Rise of Skywalker. It utilised the Force FaceTime to its maximum. I actually quite liked that. I liked the way it flipped back between the ship and onto the planet. It was really well shot. The actual fighting wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst. Doesn't deserve to be that low. It wasn't even a lightsaber duel. It was terrible. He get bitch slapped about. People actually says he got hit into Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was injured, and he still slapped him about with ease. And then what transpired after riled me no end. For an untrained Jedi to take on a trained Sith and beat him, it was a fucking joke. Absolute joke. It didn't deserve to be that low. So this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I agree. No, I don't agree. That should be way, way up. That should be one of the worst. That was just terrible. It was just CG fest. The only good thing about this that kind of came before this was him decapitating Django, so that was good. But that wasn't that great. That was shit. Yoda versus Palpatine. I loved it. It should be lower. To hear Palpatine's cackling voice and the sort of lightning shots and the big sort of platforms getting flung at Yoda. I loved that scene. I thought that was great. And this is what I'm saying about the prequels getting looked on in a better light now. People will actually go back and look at them and think, well, there is some little nice moments in these movies, despite the actual dialogue and stuff being fucking shite. Nope. Deserves to be... But I was saying that, I take that back. That was actually... That was okay, that one. It was okay. Just because he was taking on all of the multiple things. And the way it turned into a chase as well, I quite liked. And then the payback to A New Hope, so uncivilised. That was okay. Nope, hated that one, that was shite. Didn't like that one, that was shite. Just clunky crap. They were trying to combine the original trilogy's clunkiness with these sort of quick-paced prequels. didn't really work for me. Wasn't a fucking lightsaber duel. But to see Mark Hamill holding a lightsaber, albeit the wrong colour, it was okay. Doesn't deserve to be that high. It's not even a fucking duel, man. They don't strike at any point. He's projecting himself. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader. It's not a duel. He goes there to fucking sacrifice his life. Strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine. It's not a duel. He goes there to die. Fuck's that doing that low down? Come on. The video Scene 38 remastered that someone put out, that was a duel. That was very good. This does deserve to be in the top 5, I would say, but it was a little bit over choreographed. There was lots of swinging and flashy shit. It got a bit boring in the middle. It went on too long, but it was cool the way it's put together. And of course it sets up Darth Vader being Darth Vader. Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader round 2. I presume this is the throne room. That should be number 1, so they're completely wrong there. That is the greatest lightsaber duel in the history of the entire franchise. The Emperor's trying to tease him over at the dark side. He's revealing his nose about his sister. He fucking redeems Darth Vader in this. I didn't want it to go to Endor. I wanted to stay here when I was watching Return of the Jedi. This made Return of the Jedi watchable. The back and forth between Mark Hamill and Darth Vader. Mark Hamill and David Prowse, but it's not. It's James Earl Jones. No, this deserves to be number 1, man. I don't know what he puts this. He fucking puts this above that. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Anybody that's watched this can see that there is inconsistencies galore in this. What a fucking joke. I'm sorry I'm swearing so much, but to put the throne room below that in terms of lightsaber duels, what the fuck is going on here? Wow, this guy's not a Star Wars fan. This should be number 2. The throne room. I had a t-shirt with this scene when he's striking the lightsabers across. A great Adidas t-shirt. Yeah, this is one of my all-time favourite scenes as well. It's the first time they clash. It's I Am Your Father. It was just a great moment in Star Wars history. And the greatest Star Wars movie of all time. It was the pinnacle of that great movie. I do agree this should be number 3. This should be far down, but it should be number 3. This was an epic moment as a kid growing up watching this. I think I was 10 when it came out. Maybe 9. To hear the Duel of Fates theme, the great John Williams, it all come together. An amazing villain who should have survived. Incidentally, he would have been great if he'd get out alive. The death of Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan at its absolute prime, lots of jumping, fucking amazing, absolute brilliant scene. But it should be the third one. So in a sense, I've lingered way too long on that. It says I wouldn't go through the entire thing, but I'm very passionate about Star Wars, so I do like to speak about it. And when someone is absolutely getting it wrong, I have to destroy them. I read through it, and I thought, what the fuck crack is this guy on? There's things I agree with, there's things I don't agree with, and in the end, it's all subjective, I do suppose. But to put the fucking Praetorian, whatever they're called guard scene against above the throne scene, what the fuck? Wow, that's what a way to end the show. Look, if you've got anything to say about the topics, man, I spoke about in the show, I'm done. You can comment below. You can speak about Andrew Garfield denying he's going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Is that something you think is an element of truth to it, or do you think he's telling a bare-faced lie? He's a good actor, but he's not that good. I think he's lying. But what's your thoughts? What do you make about Doctor Strange getting hastily rewritten out of the WandaVision TV show, and Kevin Feige's crash remarks about a white guy coming in and showing what power is? What's your thoughts on that? I completely disagree with it on every level. What do you make about the Marvels movie? Do you care about it? Do you care about Miss Marvel? You can comment below about that. What do you make about Don't Breathe 2? And finally, do you agree with this absolute loonballs listing of great lightsaber duels in the Star Wars franchise? You can comment below if you've got anything to say at all. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you want to see more content like this in the future. And on Twitch, you can hit the follow button if you want to see us over there as well. We always dual stream. So that's how you can get more content if you want it. And if you subscribe, you follow, you'll see me again. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. I'll bid you farewell as ever, guys. With that, bye.